Intel estimate these records fraudulent. Prob Cat 1. Sten actually assigned various Imperial intelligence duties. General description: species, human. Sex, male. Age, unknown. Records destroyed. Estimated first quarter of lifespan. Place of birth, unknown. Height, slightly below Imperial norm. Body, well-formed, low body fat, high muscle ratio. Hair, black. Eyes, black. General health, excellent. Distinguishing marks or characteristics, none. Family, unknown. Interests, unknown. Friends, unknown. Prek was not dismayed when he saw the shattered ruins inside. File vaults had been twisted into bizarre shapes by intense heat. There were large spots of white ash scattered uniformly about where office dividers and furniture had once stood. As he walked, his boots stirred up a fine dust that drifted upward and clogged his nose and throat. He fitted a rebreather into place and began combing through the litter of what had once been the 23rd Fleet. Once his heart jumped when he found a tiny scrap of microfilm lying under a steel joist. He slid it into the slot of his reader, and then felt like crying when he saw that it was nothing more than part of a bill for general office supplies. Prek berated himself for his reaction. Yes, his mission was personal, but his only hope for success was if he behaved like a complete professional. Prek reorganized himself. He went all the way back to the beginning, to the outlines of what might have been the desk of a chief clerk of the records center. He began sifting through the rubble, starting in the middle and slowly working out to the edges. He was looking for much more than the chance minutiae of one man's life, he reminded himself. Even more valuable would be to discover the pattern of record storage. Prek knew that every office had its own individual logic. Things might have changed over the years as chief clerks came and went, but there would always be the trace of the first being who had received and filed the first, and then the second, and then the 1,000th document. The Ton captain was convinced that once he had determined the procedural map, he would find his man. Although they had worked in private industry, Prek's parents had also been lifelong bureaucrats. They had been equally dull in personality and unattractive in appearance. True, they had both been intelligent people, but their intelligence was what a personal psych might have called highly focused. Prek was 10 years old when his brother, Thui, was born. From the moment the infant had drawn its first breath, the family knew it was blessed with a golden boy. Thui was everything his family was not. To begin with, he was beautiful. Blonde, curly hair, blue eyes, and a physique like an Adonis even as he entered puberty. He was quick-witted and consumed with curiosity about everything. Thui also saw humor in nearly any situation. It was hard to be around him long and not be infected by his cheery outlook on life. Far from being jealous, Lo had loved his younger brother more than anything in the world. He had lavished all his attention on him, going so far as to strap himself financially so that the boy could have the benefit of the very best education the Ton system could offer. The investment had proved to be well placed. Thui was instantly snapped up by the diplomatic corps, a situation that allowed him to blossom even more. The only arguments any of his superiors had ever had concerning him was who the young Ton's mentor really was. And so, when the delicate peace negotiations with the Eternal Emperor were undertaken, Thui had instantly been assigned to accompany Lord Kyrgyz and the other Ton representatives as a junior diplomatic officer. It was to be a career assignment, which everyone agreed would be just the beginning of a rich career. The Imperial and Ton fleets met under the blinding pulsar shadows of NG 467H. The initial negotiations went quickly and well. Everyone believed that an agreement beneficial to the Ton was only a formality away. The Eternal Emperor had invited the Ton dignitaries aboard for a treaty celebration. Lord Kyrgyz had quickly picked the Ton who would accompany them. Included among them had been Thui. No Ton knew what exactly had transpired next. Prek believed the facts spoke for themselves. Every Ton who had boarded the Normandy died in a horrible bloodbath as they sat at the